Second, they can bottle women wearing hijabs. They can burn.
There's no evidence.
That's
rubbish.
They can burn mosques. They can shout EDL. They can
They
can graffiti it. But because EDL don't have an official members list, they can always publicly disassociate themselves. This allows them to have their cake and eat it. Right?
So
answer my question.
Let me just quickly answer.
You asked me a question. I want to answer it.
You haven't answered.
Right? Did the Prophet Muhammad get married to a woman who was post-pubescent? Yes. Was she post-pubescent at a young age? Yes. But the average life expectancy at that time was 35.
Did he have sex with her when she was 9?
You're making judgments.
No. Did he have sex with her when she was 9?
Look, you're making judgments.
You're not answering the question.
No, he did not. No, actually,
firstly,
he did not. It's based on one hadith.
How about
it's based on one hadith, and that hadith, excuse me, it's based on one hadith, and that hadith is contradicted by the same person who actually narrated that hadith.
How old was she?
Okay.
But the thing is, if the person...
How old was... Simple question, lads. How old was she when Muhammad...
It could be 9 or 19. The difference of opinion. 19 and 9. But she was...
No, agreed.
It was agreed she was a
post-pubescent. Hold on. I think Raza was... Let's hear from Raza. Raza, maybe you could answer that.
People who are Muslims instead. So what that means is there's no real place for a dialogue, because if you want to have a proper dialogue, what we'd say is that, hang on, there's a problem everywhere. Let's talk about all those problems. But instead you find people focusing on the Muslim problems, because right now with the flavour of the month to focus on, and guess what? We've proven them wrong in the past, we've proven them wrong again. Muslims are not terrorists, we're the biggest victims of terrorism.
Okay, Tommy,
when he said saying about Mohammed was a paedophile, under current British law, yeah, that would be correct. But I don't blame Mohammed.
No one is sure of the age, whether it was 9 or 19.
When you've got a large percentage of Muslims who follow... Sahih in Arabic means authentic. Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, both hadith state she was 9 years old when he had sex with her. Now,
okay, and what's your point?
Excuse me, I'll just let you finish. Can you please let me talk?
Let him land this.
Okay, you've got 47 girls in Rochdale, yeah? You've got 60 girls in Telford, you've got 30 girls in Derby, you've got 100 girls in Blackpool, you've got another 50 girls, there's another court case at the end of this month. These figures are an epidemic. You've got 80%...
Great, I want to come back on this.
Just, Raza, please be quiet.
Go on.
You've got, with arrest rate, you've got 80% of child grooming gangs convictions are Muslim. 80%. 3% of this country is Muslim. Now, that is massively overrepresented. So you have to ask yourself, why? Why is this going on? Why in Rochdale did the ex-local mayor, who's a Muslim, and a current Labour councillor, who is also a Muslim, go to the court case and stand up and defend 9 paedophiles who have raped and systematically abused our youth in that town? And when they've been convicted, why is there not public outrage by the Muslim community for him to be removed from his position of power? Why is there never any public outrage? Why, if you reverse the roles and Muslim children were being passed around Christian businesses to be sexually exploited, there would be massive public outrage by the Islamic community.
Sure.
They would be out on the streets.
Should be able to
the whole country would be on fire.
Firstly, if you check the newspapers,
we'll get to you
especially paedophilia is defined as sex with pre-pubescent girls, so girls who have not reached puberty. Okay, so that doesn't apply to the Prophet Muhammad at all.
No, so you think
because let me finish. Let me finish.
Yeah.
The Prophet Muhammad did not have sex with any pre-pubescent girl without, and he did not have sex with a girl without her consent.
Sex with a 9-year-old
outside of marriage. It was within marriage. It was with consent. It was no coercion, and it was after she became a woman, as defined by the standards of biology. Yeah. And lastly, if we want to talk about paedophilia, let's go there. Richard Price in your organisation, who was oh, you can always deny. See, they always can deny them when they get caught. You see, that's the thing about EDL. Also, whether they found child pornography on his computer. When you want to go look for paedophiles, try go looking in your home, at home, okay. Don't go pointing with the finger. And secondly, according to British law, the husband of Mary, Mary, the mother of Jesus, he'd be done for paedophilia too, because Mary was roughly about 12 years old when she got married to Joseph Arimathea. So, are you going to condemn the husband of Mary, mother of Jesus? Will you condemn
anybody?
Okay, okay.
12-year-old. But can I ask?
Do you condemn then Joseph, the husband of Mary, mother of Jesus? Do you condemn?
Let me ask.
Are you Christian?
Do you support Christian values? A Muslim's goal in modern Britain is to emulate the Prophet Muhammad. Yeah, that's not every single Christian to emulate exactly what he done. Yeah. Now, when you're emulating a man that had sex with a child, which we've established he did, but when we
we haven't established.
Paedophilia
is pre-pubescent.
This is the problem.
Learn definitions.
Excuse me, this is the problem.
You know what, let's forget about paedophilia issue. Yeah, okay, just quickly.
The Islamic community's definition, this is where we have the problem. They don't see having sex with a 10-year-old who started puberty as paedophilia, as my man has confirmed. If she's 11, if she's 12... No, that's your definition, that's what you...
It's the World Health Organization's definition of paedophilia is sex with a prepubescent... The World Health Organization...
Let's forget about...
The World Health Organization defines paedophilia as sex with a prepubescent child.
Sex with anyone under 16 is paedophilia.
Let's forget about that now. Let's talk about... Let's quickly get to Paul. Paul, before the dawn of terrorism, Islam has
also taken from him when he was an old man. You know, the person who narrated it was an old man at the time, so he probably wasn't quite right in his mind. You know, or somebody might have misheard him. You know, so... Well, maybe they do believe that. But at the end of the day, this is not a mainstream understanding of Islam.
Let's try to learn from, like...
It's great that he believes that, but what I'm saying is there's big percentages of Muslims that don't, and they follow the fact that it's okay to have sex with anyone who starts puberty, and that's not okay.
Well, I don't agree with that. This is not something...
To the central point of this show, right? Is Islam synonymous with terrorism, right? Now... Tommy Robinson goes on a lot of shows and platforms, and he likes to quote verses, and of course he quotes it, and then he thinks he's got the argument. Right.
Yeah, let's here's the thing. We don't have time.
Last year, my organisation challenged you to, on a fair and public platform, we're going to go through all these verses that you like to quote, and you said thanks, but no thanks on your Facebook group. So I'm challenging you.
On Facebook.
No, on your Facebook group.
On our Facebook.
Because you wouldn't respond to our emails. You would not respond to our emails.
You never spoke to me in my life.
We sent multiple emails to your organisation to say we will arrange in an open public debate, a fair debate. We had a history of fair public debates.
Do you wish to challenge us to that?
Yeah. Right.
I
want to.
Do you accept it? All right. We'll organise it then.
Abdullah, let me quickly challenge Tommy
on Facebook.
Yeah, Tommy, let me challenge you on something. For me, I just believe that maybe you're not ready to learn more about some things that you don't know about them, because about Islam.
I learn by what I see, mate. I learn by what I see.
Why I'm saying this is like even in Nigeria, but the Boko Haram thing, when it started, a lot of Christians thought Boko Haram was against them, because Boko Haram means Western education is prohibited. And they use the telephone, they use everything, hypocrisy. But the thing is that now they are killing Muslims. They're killing anything that they feel that is against them, Muslim, Christian. Would you call those people real Muslims, even when they're killing the Muslims in their midst? And apart from that, there are also other issues that are surrounding...
They're killing in the name of Islam, right?
They're claiming to be killing in the name of Islam. They're killing Muslims.
I know.
Yeah. And even in Iraq, Sunnis
they believe them to be not be Muslim.
Are killing the other people.
I know.
Yeah. So why
because they believe them not to be
to
proper Muslims. There's so many wars within Islam.
Yeah, but Tommy, why don't you want to understand Islam itself before you
because there's so many different interpretations of Islam. I understand Sufis are great. There's some great sects of Islam, but what we see now being pushed through this country is Wahhabi, Salafi, Saudi-funded money. You're not allowed a Bible in Saudi Arabia. You're not allowed to drive on the same side of the road as Muslims to Mecca. Women are not allowed to drive. It's a completely fascist country, yet they are now dictating what form of Islam is being pushed through the mosques and madrasas in this country.
But you're dictating to Muslims. You're dictating to Muslims what culture we have to follow and how we should integrate.
Follow your religion however you want, but what we see, I live in Luton Town, we see hostility, we see violence, we see terrorism. It's what we see. It's not...
Is that a Friday night? A typical Friday night for you, Tommy?
We lost one member of our community on 77
Go down the pubs on a Friday night, you'll see violence, you'll see hostility, you'll see arguments, you'll see that kind of stuff. Because Muslims, we stay away from that, there will be reduced hostility.
You don't actually.
And we don't promote that kind of
Abdullah,
there's a lot of Muslims causing violence.
Can I say something? Something that you miss is the difference between Muslims who are actually living up to the principles of Islam, and Islam is really informing their lives, and between people who just have Muslim names, or, you know, other people will refer to them as Muslims. Yet if you ask them, they'd say, well, I don't really follow, I'm not that religious, or something like that. And there's a huge difference, just like with Christians. Well, you know, people who go to church on Sunday, people who actually give a lot of charity and are informed by Christianity, and people that, you know, they just have a Christian name.
I want it to work.
Tommy, let me quickly ask Abdullah a question.